everybody. We are live from NAB Show 2025. I'm Steph Beckett.
And I'm Tim Albright.
And we were really excited. So we're here at Datavideo's booth, and they reached out to us and we're just kind of like, hey, we have this really cool recording studio set up and we would love for you to come in and use it. And I was like, I would sure love to do that. So I'm hopping in. This is like such a more professional setup than I'm used to using, which not that our setup from the office is not, but it's literally just like me in a studio setup in Chapel Hill, and I have my camera that
your camera and your mic.
My camera, my mic, and then I do have like a lighting kit, and it's just this is so different.
So I typically will record AV Week.
Yeah.
By myself.
Yes.
Right now, you've been on AV Week several times.
Yes.
But I'm in a studio by myself.
Yes.
And I can see people remotely, just like you do on Rave TV. Mm-hmm. So this is very professional, even compared to that.
Right. It's just so different that like when I'm like looking at someone that I'm interviewing like in person and we're sitting down and we're like in this professional studio setting, I'm like, wait, what do I do? How do I act normal?
Well, let's start with, we're recording this on Sunday.
Yeah.
April 6th. So happy birthday, Steph Beckett.
Thank you very much. I don't care. I'll tell everyone how old I am. I'm 31 today.
I am not 31. It's been a lot of years since I've been 31.
But can you believe this is my 9th year in the industry.
Wow.
So, yeah, I started doing this when I was like 22.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And you're still at it.
And I'm still at it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Someone today asked me if I was still in college. So, you know what? Still got it.
Yep.
Still got it. No Botox.
Thank you for that clarification.
This is all natural, man.
I have not had Botox either, and you can tell.
No,
yes.
I don't know. I think we both look lovely for our ages.
Wow. Okay. You look awesome for 105.
What was it like to be alive when dinosaurs were here?
You and I have both experienced this, but what was it like being alive in the last century?
Yeah.
Because we both had coworkers do that to us.
Yes, or they were like, "Do you remember the 1900s?" And I was like, "Yeah,
yeah."
I was there for 6 years of them. So
we have two very fantastic, very young people on our marketing team. Mm-hmm. And they made the comment that if you remember 9/11, you're old.
Yes. And I was like, I do. I was in 2nd grade. Like, I totally remember it. So they were like, that's ancient. And I was like, geez, okay. I love that's kind of a crazy benchmark that we're using, but all right.
I'll give you one, and I don't care. I'm 50. I'm 50 now. I'll be 51 in May. Mine growing up was the Challenger. Right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was alive.
We talked about this.
And when the Challenger tragedy happened. Obviously, for you, it would be 9/11 in that aspect, yeah.
That's crazy. And then, like, now I think it's going to be COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Were you alive? Do you remember COVID? Which is crazy.
And what was your experience?
Yeah. Did you not leave your house for a year?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so weird that we've lived through a lot.
And we still look this darn good.
No Botox, either of us. So, okay, let's talk about technology.
Yes, please.
Anyway, not a smooth segue, but okay, I have wandered the South floor.
Okay.
And you have been in the West Hall.
I have, and we are sitting in the North.
So together we've covered the whole show already on the first day. So tell me, what did you see so far?
So a lot of cloud, and you and I actually talked about this, good Lord, months ago.
Yeah. Where
AI is going to be the thing, regardless of the show this year, right? So ISE certainly, AI is here in spades at NAB.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of cloud, and the cloud, when it comes to broadcast and media, entertainment, is a different animal than it is when it for AV, traditional installed AV, right? There's folks that are looking to do production in the cloud.
Yeah.
Right? So they're sending audio signals, they're sending video signals, they're sending control signals, they're sending communication, right? Comms over the cloud. And the technology is here, and it's been evolving the last probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And this year it seems where folks are like, okay, we got you now, right?
Yeah.
It just depends on some latency and some cost issues.
Yeah. Okay, so this is very different than what I was looking at in the South Hall. The South Hall is a lot of networking, so Netgear is there, and it's a lot of like PTZ switching, command and control, like basically like signal, like where are we putting the signal?
Okay.
How are we arranging the signal? So I talked to Bird Dog, I talked to Densitron, I went and checked out Ross Video.
Yep.
Their booth was insane, by the way. I didn't even get to cover half of it. I have to go back. So they have it's a lot of, but I'm surprised that they kind of are starting to incorporate AV in with their broadcast technology. So Ross was really excited to show me some of their meeting room technology that they had. So they're like, oh, well, we can see that this person is talking, so we can click on them here and like look, and then now we pick which camera view we want of them, and then we go with that. So it's kind of like pulling professional broadcast technology into the meeting room. So I thought that was really interesting.
That is very cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Ross has made a concerted effort to get into the installed AV, right?
Yeah.
Installed systems, because they are very much taking that broadcast mentality. They were one of the sponsors and one of the technology partners for Infocom TV last year.
Oh yeah,
at Infocom.
Avixit TV.
Avixit TV, and so they really are taking that knowledge base into the commercial AV spot.
Yes, so it really is interesting. This is my first year at this show.
Okay.
This wasn't traditionally something that Rave covered. I think that other people from Rave have come here in the past, and I think that when we had Launch Code, it would kind of fall more into Launch Code's kind of area. But now that we've kind of folded that in with pubs, this is my first year, and I'm surprised at how much overlap that there really is.
Yep.
I think that it's still a little bit interesting, because I think that with the more that we're using standards like SMPTE and IPMX, I do think that it's just going to continue overlapping. But there is a lot of those AV people who are kind of stamping their feet a little bit, because SMPTE and IPMX, it's something where HDCP, because of that, it doesn't work. So you can't stream Netflix with SMPTE or IPMX right now because of HDCP. That is a strictly AV thing. It's it has to do with privacy and certain regulations, and it just kind of pulls a lot of red tape when you're using broadcast. So they're well, that's why they're never going to fully converge. And I'm okay, well, that's seems a little bullheaded to me.
It seems
to
like a
say
simple
that's
fix,
never
too.
going to happen.
Yeah, you would think that, and not that HDCP is simple. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But it would seem like in my head, it seems like a simple fix.
Yeah, I just think that it's crazy to say anything will never happen, because I'm sure 10 years ago we never thought that AV and broadcast would be so tightly intertwined.
Yeah.
I was talking to John Henkel about it earlier.
Emmy Award-winning John Henkel.
The Emmy Award-winning, renowned in the broadcast and AV industries, John Henkel. And he and I were talking about how he was this show is 100 years old. And I was you know what? It's crazy, because this is the AV industry is America, and the broadcast industry is Europe, where everything in America is we started counting at year 1776, so nothing is older than 200 years.
Yeah.
And then we go to another country like England, and they're oh yes, this building is from 1400.
Yeah.
And I'm oh, I forgot things could be that old. That is what the AV industry is looking at the broadcast industry to me. Is that a crazy analogy?
It's very fair, because you're right, because broadcast has been around, well, not to be silly, but since, the 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So it is kind of wait, we just seem so new to everybody else that they're oh, AV, they've only been around 40 years.
Young whippersnappers.
These young, not 40 years, probably like 50 years, probably, I would say. But yeah, I guess we seem like such a new industry to this industry that it's really interesting. And I had never thought about it like that before coming to this show. So it's provided some very good perspective for me, I would say.
No, absolutely. The other thing I'm seeing is the convergence. Convergence. I hate using that word, but it's the best one I got right now.
Well, that's the word.
It is. When it comes to traditional broadcast, traditional production, and the AV space. And one of the areas is in virtual production and installed virtual production. I was at Sony's booth earlier.
Yeah.
And they have, them like many others, have a virtual production system, right? And they were showing it from two different aspects. One was certainly in broadcast, right, where you have the direct view LED behind you,
right?
And you know, I know Gary is a big fan of Star Wars, so and I am too. So Mandalorian is one of those shows that leverages it. But also, you've got corporations putting in virtual production.
Yeah.
So you have traditional AV integrators putting in broadcast level virtual production. And so you're right about that kind of crossover where you've got a company like Sony who you and I were at, I think, CEDIA last year, where, you know, their messaging was, it's shot on a Sony, it's produced on a Sony, you might as well watch it on a Sony.
Yeah.
Same thing kind of here, where you can use Sony for virtual production in your actual film production, or you can use it in your corporate.
In corporate. That's another thing that I'm seeing a lot of focus on, where they're like, yes, so this is a broadcast professional studio. You can use this for TV production for this, but you can also use it for corporate. Like, a lot of the messaging has been like that, because I think they're recognizing what the crossover exactly is with AV.
Yeah.
So I was seeing that with Ross Video when I was spending some time in there. Bird Dog is here, and Bird Dog is talking about pro AV as well as broadcast, even though they're broadcast first, you know, but they've been coming to Infocom and ISE for years, so like they're not shy about being in the AV industry too.
No.
So I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of like the brands I know and love here, you know.
The brands that we know and love, and there are a handful of people that are here that we know, but there's also brand new people.
Yeah, no, that's so true. I go to these booths with the brands that I know, but I don't know the people at all. And I'm like, hi, like, you know, because I'm shooting videos here too, and so I go up and I'm like, hey, I'm Steph, I'm from Rave. Do you know Rave Pubs at all? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, we will start from the beginning. We are a pro AV publication, so we do typically cover the pro AV industry, but we recognize that industry is now overlapping with broadcast, which is why I am here. And would you like to shoot any product videos today?
You've got that down.
Yeah, it's like an autopilot thing now. It's kind of like when I worked at Chick-fil-A in high school, and like I would be in the drive-thru and just go on autopilot. It's a great day at Chick-fil-A. My name is Stephanie. What can I get for you?
And what's the tagline at the end of Chick-fil-A?
Oh, are they like, would they like, okay, bye, thank you, and I'd be like, it's my pleasure.
It's my pleasure. That's it.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, I still say that sometimes when I like hold the door open for someone and they say thank you, and I'm like, my pleasure. And I'm like, oh god.
Flashbacks.
I get the PTSD war flashbacks of working at Chick-fil-A. But yeah, so I don't know the people here, but they are so nice.
Very nice.
Have you experienced that? This is the most polite trade show that I've ever been to.
I would take it a step further from polite. They are excited. They are exuberant. They are outgoing. It's not just polite. It's yes.
That's absolutely
correct. We would love to talk to you. Come in and you know, I was you know, from a production side and covering side, I was looking at monitors, and I was looking at podiums and stuff like that, and they were like, you know, come in, talk, you know. We want to talk to you, and it's only day one.
Right, that's crazy. I'm so used to at least a few people kind of being mean to me in our industry, where they're like, oh my god, I don't want to do this. I get the like value, but I hate you. And I'm like, all right.
Or it's like, you know, somebody else that tells you to go talk to Stephanie upstairs.
Yes. Go talk to Patricia upstairs. Can you go get her permission? Go find her. She's 2 miles away. Like, get lost.
Yes.
But here they're like, no, like we'd love to find someone to talk to you. Like, thank you so much for coming to our booth. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you for being nice to me. So yeah, like the attitude here has been like top notch. Highly recommend. AV people, y'all can learn something from these broadcast folks about like being nice to the press, because this is great.
Yeah.
I could get used to this. And Abby's here with me, so we're covering the show. We're two of us. And she came up to me. She was like, has anyone told you no today? And I was like, no. And she was like, me neither.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere we've shown up, even if they're like haven't been ready in that minute, they're like, can you come back in 10 minutes? We're so sorry. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm the one who's like cold calling.
Yeah.
So everyone's been fantastic. Like the energy here has been great.
It's been very cool. And it's been, you know, you and I have joked about being in Vegas before, and Vegas in April is different than Vegas in June or August, which I'll tell you about later, which I get to come back in August for.
Okay, cool.
But
how exciting for you.
Oh, it's exciting. I think it'll barely be 120.
Oh, wow. What a treat. What a joy.
But yes, Vegas in April.
It's so different.
Fantastic weather.
It's lovely weather.
Yes.
It's very temperate, which I was made for. So maybe that's making everyone in a good
maybe
mood
that
too.
is, yes.
And do you know what? So many people have told me happy birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. But like I was over, where was I? I was at Black Box's booth for a little bit, and we were talking about their command and control, how easy it is to use. And it came up because David Danto came over, and I told him that no one's allowed to be mean to me today because it's my birthday. And then the whole Black Box team was like, it's your birthday? Oh my gosh, happy birthday. Like they were so nice to me. So just what a joy. Everyone here has been truly a joy to talk to.
See what I'm hearing?
What?
Your gauge on how good a trade show is how nice people are to you.
Yes.
And saying happy birthday.
Actually, no, like that is so fair, because you've probably been to the trade shows where people are just rude to the press the whole time.
100%.
And then that puts like a stink on all of the new technology that was announced, because you're like fighting for your life trying to get anybody to talk to you, or like, you know, tell you about what this new technology is, or like sit down with you and level with you, and that just hasn't been the case here.
No.
And I didn't know what to expect, because you did tell me that like this show's a little more buttoned up.
It is 100%.
It is. It's not a super casual show. Like people are dressed up. People are very like business is business, and
yeah. So Infocom is a bit. It's a bit like old home week. It feels like at this point, right? It's a bit of a reunion.
That's true.
It's a bit casual compared to NAB, and I don't mean that to say to be good or bad, but it definitely feels more
vibe.
casual. It is definitely a different vibe. Mm-hmm. Here it is a lot more business first, business forward.
Yeah.
And I think some of that comes through with people being nice to you, but also
people being nice to journalists.
but also getting their messaging out and getting their message across.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to be like, oh my God, everyone should like, you know, everyone should just like butter me up all the time. Like, I don't mean that. I just mean like people can just be sometimes so mean to the media, and like you try not to take it personally, but after like 3 people are like buzz off, you're so annoying, can you get away from me? Or like you walk up to someone and they just like walk away from you and like don't even say anything back. Like it is so refreshing to come to a show where people like are so